we won't talk about the, last week when you weren't here because you're doing another class, but you've been kind of with these guys from start to finish, right? Can you kind of talk through just, watching Caleb or Jamal or Cody or Riley, just from what you've seen, what they've obtained in terms of skills and understanding, and hopefully what they're going to end up leaving with as a part of this 10-week program?
Yeah. When you look at the development of these guys from the first day they got here, and I have had the opportunity to be here for a better part of these 10 weeks as we're wrapping up today. I would say even by within the second week, you could see where everybody was becoming more comfortable with the atmosphere of moving from a classroom into a lab, feeling comfortable putting their hands on equipment, using their tools. Because for a lot of these guys, this is the first time they've had this stuff in their hands. It's the first time they've been in front of a piece of equipment, and it was very evident to see them feel comfortable with that. But also from that point, then it kind of graduated from that to not just the comfort level, but to having enough of an understanding of certain things to have really good questions to ask, and including sometimes, by the time we got on the 4th or 5th week, it was a whole different class, but there were things that were somewhat relatable, and a lot of the guys picked up on that and would ask questions like, well, gosh, is that like when Ed was explaining to us, that's how you check the ohms? Exactly, guys, exactly. So it was really neat to see how they've matured through this 10 weeks, with some ease, in my opinion.
So, this was obviously the first time we've ever done this concept, and how confident do you feel from some of these classes you were doing directly, and some of them you were a secondary instructor on, but going back to work for their employer, or in Jamal's case going to work for his new employer, how confident do you feel that they're at a place where they're going to be an asset to their organization moving forward?
100%, and I say that because what each and
Can you kind of start this? I'm sorry to do that to you, but can you kind of start this when they come out of this program? I think they're going to just to kind of, instead of boom 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
So when they come out, all the students come out of this program, they're the best part, from what I can see what they're gaining from this is they're going to move on to their prospective employers, or some are already employed, with a great foundation that they've kind of got that was built through all the instructors, that they'll be able to take that, and not just the stuff that they learned here, but we've always been very big, and this goes for all the instructors here, is anything they learn, it's also backed up with a lot of material. So aside from the foundation that's been built, they have material, the books and the diagrams, whatever it is they need, from that foundation to be able to rely on that. And of course, each and every one of us as instructors has made 100% sure they have our emails, they have our phone numbers, and know that we are here to support them. The 10 weeks is over. That doesn't mean it was nice meeting you guys, good luck in your future. We're going to be here from them, as long as they need us and as long as we can be there.
We gave these guys, as a part of the program, they all got a tool kit or tool bucket. What do we call that?
Tool bag.
Yeah. They got a tool bag.
Yep.
All right. So can you talk through what was in that tool bag, as well as what they use from the tool bag during the class, as well as where you think how they can utilize that tool bag once they start their career here, or get back into the field?
Yeah, so another thing I think is going to be beneficial. Sorry about that. Another thing I think is going to be beneficial.
Let's start that. Yeah. Let's start that again.
Okay.
All right.
Another thing I believe is going to be beneficial, as they move on, go to their employees at the end of this 10-week program. Aside from that foundation we just spoke of, is also the tools that they've received. We're very careful to put together a toolkit that has the most common tools they're going to need for the different facets of the industry, whether it be oil, air conditioning, doing electrical work, gas work. So anything from manometers to gauges to do flow and lockups, to gauges for oil to do pump pressure and vacuum. The multimeters they received are basically a multimeter that they can use through any of those, whether it's oil, gas, air conditioning. I believe it was probably somewhere around $2,000 worth of tools, and it wasn't just hey, let's see what we can stick in the bag. It was very carefully selected items that they're going to be able to put to use as soon as they're out there in the field.
Anything else you want to add? I'm good based on what you covered and what I'm going to be asking these guys and what I'm going to say. So I think from an instructor perspective, those are the three questions
Yeah.
that I had in my mind. Anything you want to add, inject into this based upon your experience